Ross Ulbricht is serving a double life sentence without parole for all nonviolent charges for creating a website. Please help free this peaceful man. Go to freeross.org and sign and share the petition.
So it's little wonder that smart shoppers everywhere take time out to pause and refresh. And where else but in the fountain where they serve ice-cold Coca-Cola?
The eMilitia Podcast, Episode 21. Hang 'em goes to DC. Enjoy fuckers.
All right, howdy everybody. We've been up to a lot as a group, and we can't wait to unwrap everything for y'all. So mainly, the main topic is going to be that our very own Hanging for Freedom actually attended the 2A rally in Washington, and I'm sure he has a lot of cool details to share with us. And we've got a lot of other nuggets to talk about with y'all, but let's just get right into it. First of all, welcome back. We have Bloody Revolutions, Empress of Me, myself, Hanging for Freedom, and Rebellious Liberty with us tonight. And so hang 'em. Why don't how was it, man? Did you have fun?
I had fun. I had a real good time. It was amazing. I got to meet a lot of good people. And I actually was on like a natural high up until like Monday. Because yeah, I had a great time.
You should get sponsored by Dare.
Dare. Drugs are really expensive.
Find your natural high.
Guns.
Did you drive there or did you fly there?
I drove.
How was that?
A man of the people.
Trying to calculate which one is more of a commitment.
What's that?
I said I'm trying to calculate which one is more of a commitment, driving for that many hours or paying for a plane ticket.
Yeah, it's 6 hours away, so it's right on that border of it's going to take you 4 hours just to deal with the airports.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you spend the money to fly or just take the extra 2 extra hours of driving? Now you have to drive across Appalachian, so that's a
Is there
thing.
a heavy police presence?
Very little. You mean on the drive or there?
I mean, at the rally.
Okay, we were getting buzzed by a helicopter probably every 15 minutes.
Wow.
And part of it, the Nationals had their World Series parade. So there was high security because of that. The actual event itself, other than the helicopter flying up, we weren't surrounded by police at all. But you could see police. There was some police posted up on the Capitol building itself. You could see them real up high going around, and you knew every building around you probably had 20 snipers and 100 facial recognition cameras and whatever else they're using nowadays.
How many people do you think were in attendance?
I've heard anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000.
Wow.
People are saying between 1 and 2 is realistic. I'm not super good at looking at a giant group of people and trying to figure out how many of them are there. Normally, I try to stay away from giant groups of people. But for a short term, because for me personally, I believe there wasn't a lot of time for it. I thought it was a pretty good show up for the first time, and I can remember in my lifetime where people marched on Washington over their gun rights.
A bunch of indoor politigram types as well, no less. I mean, not everyone, but there was a good healthy chunk of people who, normally just shit.
I didn't completely do the math, but what do they figure? It's like 100 million firearm owners in the United States, and
were they all there?
Well, on a good estimate, 2,000 were there, so that's a very small percentage. How many book boys are there? Like when it comes to Instagram, I figure around like 30, 40,000
How many what boys? Fuck boys?
boog boys. Boogaloo?
Thousands. I mean,
But let's say 30, 40,000 on Instagram, and there's at least 30 in my group where we're all at. So that's a pretty good percentage.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think as far as the percentage of people that showed up, there was a decent amount of book boys there.
Want to shout some of them out?
Paranoid fucks.
What was
Shout
that?
some of the people out who were there? Like, shout some of the IG accounts.
Well, I met up with Pogue Actual. Me, Pogue Actual, and Trigicon all met up at Union Station. And I don't want to mess it up. JD Firearms or something. I'll have to look it up. I was thinking I'd wait till the end and do all the call outs, but
My bad.
we'll get to that at the end. But me and Pogue met up. Trigicon met up. We went and walked around for a while. As a group, we all have a pretty good relationship with Pogue. He's a good guy. I really enjoyed him. Trigicon, really good guy. Like, it was just a good time overall.
So there was some controversy around one of the speakers. I think what's his name? Rob Pincus.
Hitler, probably.
Hitler was there too.
He was actually like the main organizer.
Hitler?
No, Pincus.
Oh, Pincus.
Was he heckled when he was on stage?
A little bit, yeah, especially from our little corner of the book boys. People were fucking yelling shit at him.
Fucking redcoat.
Did you see any really cringy shit?
Nothing too cringy. You seen?
I saw
I
some
see
NRA
probably like
shirts.
2 or 3 MAGA hats.
Idiots.
Yeah. Seen a couple thin blue line hats or shirts. Yeah, but I expected that going in.
Oh yeah.
I knew that part of that. I knew
Did
that
you
would be.
talk to any of them? Did you put any of them in their place and be like, hey, you know how what you're wearing doesn't represent at all what we're here for?
No, I did not.
Shame.
For the most part, like during the rally, it was hard to have conversations with people because there were speakers the whole time. From what was it, like 4.5 hours of speakers?
How do you become a speaker at one of these things?
You'd be big in the 2A community.
Who all spoke?
Isn't that us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, aren't we? Isn't the eMilitia big in this community? Like, can we
Well,
just show up and be like, hey, man?
it's sort of like us versus someone like Tom Woods or Kerry Wedler. You know, we're not public figures. No one's gonna be like, hey, person I've never fucking seen before, come on a stage and in front of thousands of
I
people.
don't
You
know.
know.
I'm still waiting
Yeah,
on
no,
Tom
like
Woods
they-
to invite me on his podcast. So
They had guys from Gun Policy and Gun Owners of America. They had an NRA guy there, of course. I think they had an NRA guy. Hold on. Wait. Maybe I just seen a lot of. I talked to an NRA guy in the crowd that was trying. His thing was to reform the NRA because he thought the NRA were turning into FUDs. So he's like, "We're gonna reform the NRA." And he was a cool guy. We all talked to him.
I appreciate the sentiment, but you know, at least he's not all in on them. You know, like yeah, they're doing great. They're America's gun rights organization. All that shit.
Well, it's funny. He walked up to us. We had just met Firearm Chronicles, and we were talking to him. And this guy walked up to us, and he's like, "We're with the NRA," and everyone just shrugged him. And he's like, "I'm trying to change." He's like, "I'm trying to change it."
It's like, just let it die,
This
mate.
person, we're like, hold on a second. We'll talk to you. And then he stopped, and we talked to him for a minute. And he's like, "Yeah, the NRA's fucked. They're not what they used to be."
Did you get any of this in the video we're putting together?
I didn't get that specific part, but
Damn
I
it,
did give him.
Hingham.
I did give him a sticker.
Well, that's something. Not all is not lost.
I got some other good interviews though.
Be digging through those soon. So was there any? I saw that the Socialist Rifle Association was there, which is people are mixed of their opinion on that. Personally, I think that's quite cool. Even though I fucking despise socialism, I think it's pretty cool they were involved.
Yeah. They mentioned that they were there on stage, and there was a lot of booze. It was pretty funny. I actually met them because they were walking around passing out literature, and I was passing out stickers.
All right, I'll take some commie propaganda for some fucking.
I did take a piece of commie propaganda, and I gave him one of our stickers.
There you go.
So I figure if nothing else, you can take the propaganda to the shooting range, shoot it up.
Did you read it? Like, what kinds of stuff did
I
it
have
say?
not gone through it. No.
I actually, despite disliking the philosophy, obviously, I like the way the Socialist Rifle Association operates. They're very much focused on mixing their core values with, standing behind being an armed civilian and being independent of, being subject to a government or whatever the fuck. So, I don't know. They've got the right methodology and the wrong philosophy, but the fuck ever, you know me and my anarcho-unity shit. Not that they're all anarchists, but I thought it was cool they were involved in some way. Everyone,
fucking commie.
When you have a family reunion, you have to the retarded kids have to be there too, whether you like them or not.
Well, yeah, they're just like the fucking NRA fuds to me. Like,
Yeah.
we kind of, it's like the 80-20 rule. If we agree on 80%, they're not quite in the 80% range. They're
no.
We can agree on a couple things, but
it's some warm bodies.
Yes.
Everyone's gonna be fucking messaging me now, like, "Yeah, I was a socialist." Like, yeah, fuck it. better red than dead, or whatever the fuck.
What speeches did you like? Anyone stick out?
I'm gonna murder his name.
Maj Touré?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes. He was really good. Let's see. One of the guys, the dude from Gun Policy was really good. The guy right at the end was really good.
Types of things.
If I give you the list of the people that spoke, are you able to post that on the podcast? Or can you mix that in? I feel really stupid, but I'm horrible with names, and this is like a good part of where you need names, and I'm very bad at pronouncing them too. So
we'll figure out a way. It'll be in the show notes or some shit.
All right.
This is a professional operation.
What is it? Stilettos and shotguns.
She's the one who gave me the Twitter impressive meme handle.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she was there. She gave a good speech.
Wow.
What was it? There was a speaker early on who he won the 4th season of, I guess they have a reality shooting show, Top Gun or something.
Oh, I heard about that ages ago, and I watched like an episode of it, and it was kind of like, but whatever, fucking cool.
Okay, yeah. He was the winner of it, so obviously he's at least good at shooting and supports gun rights. And like quarter away in the speech, he announces that he's gay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh man, I wonder how this is going to go. And actually, believe it or not, there are a lot of cheering. Way more than I would have expected.
Armed gays don't get bashed.
Was that? Yeah, exactly.
Gun rights are gay rights.
So I felt kind of good about that. That even the FUDs were cheering on the gay dude that shot. Because I was expecting a lot of booze. As soon as I heard him say that, I'm like, ooh, this ain't gonna be good.
I think ever since the Orlando shooting, like, wait, what?
What's a FUD?
You haven't come across FUD
Hold
yet?
on a minute.
I just need a definition if you have one.
All right,
you know Elmer Fudd?
like the Looney Tunes character?
One who like tries to shoot Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Be very quiet.
Yeah.
So, all right, yeah, you take this one, BR.
All right. So your typical hunter, and I love my dad to death, but he's a FUD. He's a gun guy, but he believes in guns for hunting, and that's where it ends. He's like, well, only police should have, ARs, and only the military, but I want to keep my hunting rifle and my shotgun because I need those. And that's all civilians should have. That's like their general opinion. Usually they're bootlickers, and they I'm a gun owner, but sort of arguments. It's just fucking useless.
Okay.
So that's gonna get chucked around a fucking ton this episode. It's good we got that out of the way fairly early on, because for anyone
Asked for the audience, you're welcome.
the uninitiated. Where were we?
Sorry.
God damn it.
I was the interrupter.
For once, like you get one. You get one. Guns gets, I guess, 99, and fucking it just goes on.
What?
What?
Talking shit?
Okay, so
You want to scrap?
You
You want to scrap, mate?
Yes.
what kinds of things were they saying in their speeches? I mean, were they
What
talking
kinds of things?
Yeah, like what was the message?
Shall not be infringed. Yeah, the whole thing was themed around shall not be infringed, and just gun rights for everybody.
So I've got. Oh, I know where we were gonna go. I was about to go on a little thing about the Orlando shooting.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
That's where we were at. Okay.
Good job. I'm proud of you for remembering.
I know. I'm like totally not sober either, so that's just fucking amazing.
Yeah. You're also really dumb.
I don't need this, guns. I don't need this. It's been a long fucking day. Anyway.
Still love you though.
Ever since the Orlando nightclub shooting, like everyone who was pro gun rights, like, and you had all these gay people all of a sudden like, well, fuck, that's a hate crime, and I don't want to be a victim. And all of a sudden, you see these fucking Gadsdens everywhere with a rainbow behind it. I thought that was fucking incredible, because all of a sudden, overnight, you had all these. I mean, for anyone who's never heard of them, there's like the Pink Pistol. I think that's what they're called.
Yes, that's the name.
Yeah, Pink Pistol Association. I don't know what the fuck that particular thing is, but they teach gun ownership, concealed carry, and stuff to LGBT people to stop them from being fucking hate crimed. And so their numbers just went way the fuck up overnight. You see these Gadsdens, and all of a sudden, all these very liberal gays are like, well, no one's fucking doing anything for us. We are on our own in this. No one's gonna overnight stop hate crime with some legislation. So like, well, let's defend ourselves. And all of a sudden, that's why you see so many, like, I think over the last few years, just a massive bump in the amount of sort of LGBT libertarians and stuff, which is very fucking cool. They're like, no one's helping us. And gun people, the inverse of that, they see this happening. They're like, well, my opinions, I don't necessarily love them in that, I'm not like super pro gay rights, but they're people and they're on our side. So
yeah, I'm not going to help you support your cause, but I'm not going to stop you from doing what you need to do to promote it or whatever.
You see that even in the most like conservative, like morally conservative, but like, if gun rights come before their more conservative values, they'll be pretty sensible about who they're allying with in that kind of fight for rights.
So, Hang'em, you wouldn't help the gays promote their cause?
I think he was speaking in third person, like for a conservative.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Because I was about to ask you what other extracurricular activities you attended.
If you mean help them support their cause, like, am I going to help them build a float for the gay parade? Probably not.
Would you go to a drag show or something like that?
I don't see how that helps support the cause, but if it's a good drag show and it's entertaining, then hell yeah, why wouldn't I?
So you wouldn't go to a bad one. You would never be found at a bad one.
But now you have to give some.
You might have found me in a bad one twice. Who knows?
I mean, I've been to a bad one.
Any time recently, perhaps after a certain rally?
Definitely not as recently as him.
Let's just clear this up right here.
Before we get drunk and fuck it up.
Hang'em gets into Washington DC Friday night. There's no one in the area who wants to grab a beer. So I go on the old Google machine and find the nearest bar to the fucking hotel. It was a brewery, and they were serving barbecue. And I said, well, that looks like a spot I want to go to. I walk in, and there's a drag show. a horrible drag show with some amateur ass fucking queens up there. I wouldn't call it so much a show
How
as
bitchy of you, Hang'em.
what's that?
How bitchy of you. Some
What?
amateur queens.
Woo, that's a strong ass drink. God damn. Oh,
I mean, that happens when you only pour whiskey into a glass.
you're right. I forgot the Coke.
My mistake. So I've got a pretty good quote from Marge Teray that I think is a pretty good summary of the kind of attitude of the 2A rally from what I've seen. I don't know, Hang'em kind of validate if this was the general tone or not. So, Marge Teray, we will not comply, we will not lay down, but we will also not rush our hand unaware of the bloody potential outcome. We are here, unarmed, in respect of unconstitutional laws, putting our differences aside to speak to a bigger agenda. The agenda is our freedom, our liberty, our constitution, and our human right to exist. Of course, we're not 100% on board with that. We are here unarmed in respect of unconstitutional laws. I mean, none of us really want to be there for that. But his general message and tone is kind of what I've been getting at recently, where it's like this whole bloodthirsty push is not the way to do things. It's we should be pushing the peaceful shit until it's like, well, this is it.
You should never resort to any kind of violence unless it's in defense. That's, I mean, if you stick by that, then you're okay.
Yeah, and we're going to get a few pissy comments saying like, well, it's already in defense because there are tyrants. And
well, yeah, I was going to counter you and say
see that
you said defense, but it's defense against protecting your rights, and our rights are being violated.
Oh, absolutely. It's just
so.
This is the very fucking razor thin line that we tread, and that always pisses off someone. It's like, well.
Oh, believe me, the controversy there and the people that didn't go and the flack I got for going because it wasn't a fully armed thing. And, well, you know, if it's in violation of your rights, you should show up with your guns. But, again, dude, like, let's use the big number of 2,000. Like, DC employs like 6,000 police officers. And that's not like ATF and everyone else who's fucking located in DC. Like, you can't show up armed. It's against the law, and you're going to go to jail. And I don't see what that's going to... How's that helping the cause?
just hurts public perception more than anything.
So you can't open carry in DC?
Oh, fuck no.
Apparently, if you get caught with a bullet, it's considered a firearm.
Gee.
And is, like, minimum 10-year...
Jesus Christ. Okay, so we need to start doing 2A rallies in states where you can open carry.
They're planning an open carry. Trigicon Continued, I believe, is his Instagram name.
Continued.
It's kind of like Whiskey, where his name's been fucked on multiple accounts. So at the minute, it's
yes, he's putting together a carry rally in Virginia.
We can open carry long guns in South Carolina, so
January 20th.
Virginia just flipped blue with a lot of the gun control people.
I think that was his flipping point when that happened. That's when he started putting the rally together.
And right the fuck on. I mean, right away, you can't wait until that's 6 months into the term. You gotta right from the start be like, nah, fuck you guys.
Exactly.
I had no idea how to say his username. Did he tell you that's how it's pronounced?
Honestly, I googled it, or I DuckDuckGo'd it, and got a pronunciation of it before we met. So I didn't totally murder it.
Trigicon is like a line of optics, like for rifles and shit, and then his name originally was Trigiconfucius, I believe, and now it's Trigicontinued. So it's super easy to pronounce and super easy to spell.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't want to be embarrassed because it's a word I see a lot, but I've never heard it pronounced in person.
Me too.
That's basically every philosopher we deal with and fuck up their names constantly.
Yes.
If Anglo and Emp aren't here, we just butcher the fuck out of their names. Like whenever I listen to Tom Woods, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck it up right now, but like he says like Hope or whatever the fuck it is. I always say like, or hop. I always say hoppy, or I don't know. We fuck it up.
Is it not just hop?
I don't fucking know.
It's hop. Yeah, it's hop.
Well, because like a Hoppian.
It's hop. Yeah, it's hop. Jesus.
Well, I say Hoppian for like people who follow that. Yeah, Hoppian. I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you gonna go to the Virginia rally?
I would like to. Cost is always part of it. It's coming right after the holiday season, and the weather's going to be horrible, and driving through Appalachia in a winter storm is not somewhere you want to be. So I'm not saying no by any means. I would like to go, and I'm just going to have to play it by ear. Let a little more time pass before I can make any hard decisions on it.
Have anything else to say before we go on to some current events?
Before we forget about you.
Oh, I want to say I'm very proud of our community for showing up there. I want to say thank you to everyone I got to meet in person. All our followers. I just met a lot of good people with good attitudes who are into the movement and are ready to do something.
Put the fucking legwork in.
I know I've been criticized. They're criticizing people for going to the rally. You're never going to change government. I don't believe I'm going to change government with protesting. I think the movement is gotten to the point where we're saturated with memes and we're ready to move on a little bit. And I don't think we can move on until we start getting out and meeting in person.
Yep.
There's a whole different thing about meeting that guy you've been having conversations with for 6 months in person in front of a federal or government building to have, and it's not even to have the government hear your voice. It's to hear other people that are behind the computers going, man, I wish someone would do something. All right, man, we're ready to do something. Let's get out. Well, you're not doing enough. Well, let's get out here. And when we meet up there, we can talk about what our next step is.
Yeah, I think it was a strong first step, just showing a body of people. You know, it was the first rally of its kind in DC, to my knowledge, especially in modern times. And to see that many for the first one, I mean, if they do it next year, if it hasn't all gone to shit by this time next year, I'm sure that number will swell quite a bit, seeing as people actually fucking turned up, you know?
Man, I was driving through the fucking mountains going, you know what? I'm not coming back to DC till it's burnt down.
I thought the same fucking thing last time I was there.
And
Fuck this
driving
city.
back from the rally, I was like, you know what? If they have this next year, I'm definitely coming.
If it's next year, I'll fucking fly out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can all meet up.
eMilitia, bitch.
eMilitia.
Damn. Could you imagine, dude? If we all went to some sort of rally, we need to have like a booth.
There were people that were sad that I was the only one there.
You can blame my wife for that one.
You should have fucking made a representation, but it's okay. I got you. I was your ambassador.
I had to meet with my parole officer.
I was under very sexy house arrest.
I just didn't really want to go.
Well,
If I'm being honest.
that fucking raging endorsement. I mean, you're gonna lead the book, so how could you show your face?
Yeah.
It's not
Gotta
the right
lead
time.
from the shadows.
Exactly. Oh, one final note on the rally, unless anyone else has anything. Apparently, there were people like shouting from the Boog group, like, you know, all sorts of "fuck the government" kind of shit towards the Capitol building. Was there any kind of reaction to that from the rest of the audience?
They just kind of ignored it a little bit. Like they didn't. But no, there were a couple times where people were chanting "Boogaloo, Boogaloo, Boogaloo," and I was very excited for that. The one speaker was chanting "Boogaloo."
Fucking beautiful. Oh, was that
that was pretty awesome.
Weichel for Senate or whatever the fuck his name is?
Yeah, he showed up. He showed up kind of late. He's the one who showed up with all the Boogaloo 2020 and make machine guns legal again signs.
Mm.
I really wanted to talk to the guy. I've been in a chat that he's been in, so we've conversated before. He showed up kind of late, and I don't go to all these rallies a lot. I was thinking people were going to hang around a little bit more. Like, he organized a little group of people right after the rally, and I was just trying to go and hand out a whole bunch of more stickers, and like I turned around and like everyone was like dispersing, and then there was no one to be found to interview, nothing like that. So it's a little live and learn experience for me.
I mean, I think the right just isn't used to doing rallies. Because
none of us were.
Activism
it was
is some
weird
like
thing for everyone there.
Yeah, it's some weird hippie shit, you know, like it's just not the done thing.
And you know what? We just stood there for 4.5 hours listening to people talk. Everyone's legs were fucking hurting. Everyone needed to move and get walking and start getting some circulation.
Have a drink.
I took a couple breaks where I had to walk in the back and stretch my legs because my knees were starting to fucking go out.
I mean, good on you, man. At 81, being out there for 4 fucking hours it was probably a little cold.
Well, I had my mobility scooter, so
hover around.
Little rascal scooter. Yeah,
just hover around.
If anything, the rallies are prep for the Boogaloo because, like, the physical
have to get off your couch.
Yeah, you have to stand for 4 hours. Like, that's a whole battle, essentially.
True.
I don't know. Battles last for days. Leave this to the men.
Guerrilla warfare. This day they don't.
Yeah, that's true. A guerrilla fighter. If a guerrilla fighter fights for days, they're not doing something right.
This is why I'm the leader of the Boog and you aren't.
There you go.
That's right.
Are we ready to move on to current events?
Boog mom.
Oh Christ, you sound like Skulls.
I'm trying to think. I got to meet Firearm Chronicles. Do any of you guys listen to follow him?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
I believe so.
It was before the rally started. Everyone was just kind of hanging out. I was with Pogue and Trijicon, and we were meeting up with other people and just kind of bullshitting. And I seen this dude videotaping on his phone. He had a little setup for it. And I'm watching him, and I'm like, this dude looks like a motherfucker who wants a sticker. So I'm like, hey, dude, you want a sticker? And he's like, yeah, I do. And Pope's like, dude, are you Firearm Chronicles? And he's like, yeah, that's me. Great guy. We ended up talking to him for like the next hour till the rally started.
Oh, wow.
He introduced us to a gentleman who's running an organization, Kids something. We'll have it in the video. I got an interview by him. He's out of Washington State, and he runs an organization where he teaches kids to use guns responsibly.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Were any of these speeches like chill-inducing? Like, did they make you want to pick up a gun and like make a Molotov cocktail, or what?
No, they were more like the guy from Philly's theme. It was like trying to like calm people down. Like, hey, dude, we do have a problem. We're working on this problem. Us being here is like the beginning of the solution to the problem. We're not saying we shouldn't slay tyrants.
Just one more step, one more try.
Yeah. If we start slaying tyrants now, it's not going to look good to the general public.
Your tyrant slaying should not be premature.
Everyone should be good and pissed off.
Yeah, I always thought people always want to quote that you need 3% of the population to win a revolution. You need 3% of the population to be fighting to win a revolution. You need at least 50% of the population to back your cause. And we have the 3%. we're looking for the 50% to back our cause. So we're trying to change the hearts and minds, do the whole paradigm shift.
I mean, I thought I was about to have to go out last night because of a noise complaint. So
What's that?
I told you I got the cops called on me last night, but it was just a noise complaint because I was listening to Highly Suspect a little too loud.
What a thing to get fucking shot for.
Right? Not worth it.
Of all the things that send you out, a fucking noise complaint, and you're like, all right, I guess we're doing this.
Ooh.
Excuse me, sir. You're playing "Fuck the Police" too loud, and your neighbors are complaining.
Hey, cab, motherfucker!
What? Full kit, motherfucker!
Fucking runs at you in a plate carrier and maybe tell you ways.
That's me in the middle of the night, man.
Jesus fuck! Is he wearing magic underwear?
You got that right. It'll be the craziest, holiest thing anyone's ever seen.
I would not call my underwear magic unless they had some kind of like shine to them, dude. Like some sequence or something on them.
How do you know they don't?
I just call it
I
without
don't.
stain magic.
I don't. I'm just saying for me, like I want my magic underwear to glow or at least reflect light.
Well, they
good.
shine.
Nice.
At
Nice.
least for the first couple of days of wearing them.
You are a classy son of a bitch.
They bulletproof.
Are they bulletproof?
Yeah.
Only by the Lord's
Actually,
will.
I mean, we are promised that they will serve as a protection to us. So that can mean whatever you want.
What was never guaranteed.
Yeah, against what? I mean, I guess it matters
Could you
how,
obtain
like,
a
how much
set in
faith you
Kevlar?
have.
Could you obtain a set in Kevlar?
Probably not.
Kevlar
but
weave.
Okay.
I'll ask about that, you know?
Yeah.
New line of business.
It would probably sell really well in the Mormon community, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, as we've discussed, you guys are some paranoid fuckers with good reason, and I love it.
Yeah,
And they like to have lots of
some-
kids, so they want to protect that area for sure.
That's true. That's true. Buckshot to the groin ruins the plans of a big Mormon family.
It's sad, you know?
Dude, you can market the you can corner the market on Kevlar thongs.
Oh, crap.
You could probably market corner with those too.
Yeah, I'm sure no one else has tried that yet. So
Exactly. Get in early.
All right, so we've got self-defense lamps, ostrich figurines, Kevlar weave,
brain.
holy Mormon underwear. We need our merch is gonna be fucking lit when we get it all set up. Like Jesus Christ.
things are wild.
Also, I just used lit like a 17-year-old, so I'm gonna go and fucking honor kill
So
myself. Lit. It's gonna be fucking lit, bruv.
Okay, let's talk about some current events.
Let's do it before I fucking embarrass myself further.
BR wanted to laugh for 2 minutes that Beto dropped out.
Oh, I can't actually physically laugh for 2 minutes, I'll die. But fuck that cunt. I'm so glad. I'm so glad he's out. No, biting the bullet about this are like, our boog opportunity is gone. But that guy was such a fucking
Like, I wasn't surprised at all. Like,
No,
I was seeing all these
no.
memes, and I'm like,
The guy
didn't you
couldn't
guys see
make
this
it.
shit coming for months? He was a nobody.
Oh, fuck.
No, he had like a lot of he was like he had like a lot of Obama staffers, and he raised the most money. I didn't realize that, but I was reading into it today. He
was weirdly
like
the favorite in a
he
for a
was,
while.
but he didn't really like. I think it was probably because he was pretty like, we're gonna take all your guns. We want to tax the churches. I mean, like that's
It doesn't go well with the general public.
it doesn't, and so like he had. It was just kind of crazy.
You're not going to win independence that way.
Oh man, reading the comments on his like thank you post is fucking gold because 50% of them, well, not 50,
They're just
like
rude.
half of them are like rude, fucking just ruthless. Like, yeah, fuck you, clown, good riddance.
Not 50, like half.
It's
That's
literally the same.
50%.
What he said.
God fucking damn it.
Not like 50%, but like half.
Wait, did I say that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm unsurprised. Hey, I'm not a fucking banker. I don't need your fucking numbers. It's Chinese to me. But some of these are fucking sincere. Thank you, Beto. We are so proud of your campaign. And then right next to it, sucks to suck, clown. Be gone, tyrant. It's like,
That's how I feel when you go onto a cop thing about them bragging about like stealing some weed.
oh yeah. It's like,
Thanks for
your
keeping our
service."
community safe.
Yeah. It's like, fucking tyrant pig.
You guys see that big bust in New York? The like 106
Oh,
pounds
for all
or
the
something, and the cops
legal
are
hemp.
yeah, and it turns out to be fucking legal hemp. They're putting motherfuckers in jail, probably beating their fucking asses. Oh, we got you, punk. We got you. You're gonna be away forever. Rat on everyone. And then they're like, probably the whole time, they're like, dude, it's legal. It's totally legal hemp. Like, this shit's legal now. Fuck you, it's not legal. There's weed in here. Yeah, dude. Do you know what hemp is?
Oh, how stupid do you got to
Like
feel
the guy
after
who
that?
got busted for meth when it turned out to be kitty litter.
It's pretty common. Field drug tests are trash.
Dude, they're like 10% accurate.
Oh, it's less than that. I think it's like 2%.
It's really bad. It was like honey
Anything we put in this
tested.
vial is going to turn it pink, and you're going to jail, kid.
Mhm.
That's enough probable cause.
I just want to let everyone know, Emp is live tweeting this. Instantly, it's not 50, it's half. Thanks. Thanks.
You're welcome.
God damn it. This is why I don't touch fucking numbers. Devil's work.
I'm bad at numbers.
I don't believe in them.
Yeah, right? Like, who the fuck
That's
invented
not
that
even
shit?
numbers. That's
What the
just
fuck?
synonyms.
Who invented algebra?
A fucking communist, probably.
Jesus. Like,
Actually, it was the Arabics.
let's all sweat about what this imaginary number is real quick.
Hey, it is important. You've never taken statics or strengths and
You've
materials.
never had to
obviously.
triangulate anything?
Oh,
didn't even
well,
take any
geometry is
terms of that.
different because that's tangible, right? Like,
That
those
is
things exist.
algebra.
No.
When you guys were in school, did your teachers always say, like, you're not going to have a calculator with you all the time? And it's like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
technology, bitch.
Aged
Oh, yeah.
really bad.
Yeah,
check
but when
this
they
out.
would say that to me, I already had a calculator with me at all times.
My teachers usually said, shut up, BR, get in the closet and quit crying.
My kids still have to have a scientific calculator. They come home and they're like, hey, I need this $100 scientific calculator. And I'm like, you got a $600 one in your fucking pocket. It's called an iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm like, just tilt the calculator to the side. It's a scientific calculator. And they're like, oh, well, the teachers won't let us fucking have that.
Bad
like,
news
what?
is when you get to college, you're not even allowed to use those anymore anyway.
Well, guess what? In real life, if I got this math problem and I can't figure it out,
I'm
going to
always
duck
cheating.
go that motherfucker. I do it all the time. Anytime I need a formula, I go to the internet, and you know what? They're right up there. Sometimes they have calculators for me. I don't even have to do the math myself. I just put in what I need, and boom, done.
I really like how that's just like embedded in your language. I say Google by accident all the time, and you're like DuckDuckGo every time.
I try. That was one of those things. Like, you got to think about it because I use Google all the time, and I'm like, no, dude, you're not doing that no more.
Yeah, it's like a verb.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta actually start using DuckDuckGo more often.
It kind of
That's the same.
sucks, but
It's just, I mean, you get it like
I'm not
you
gonna
look
lie.
for something normal, and then all of a sudden you just get the weirdest stuff, and I'm like, I actually kind of want to look up something normal right now.
Okay, so any other topics you guys want to talk about?
I have a question from one of our follows. I think it's a really good question for discussion. If you give me 1 second to pull it up. No dead air.
I know, like we kind of covered it
Wow.
earlier, but I guess for our listeners who didn't know, every town for gun control, is that what it is? Every town for gun safety?
Every tyrant for gun safety.
What is like the name of it? Every town for
Every town, I think.
Yeah, it's like Michael Bloomberg associated. He spent $2.5 million in Virginia
Oh, yeah.
on
And then,
like 3 politicians or something ridiculous, but they like flipped the state, so now it's like all Democrat. And instantly, not even 24 hours after winning the election, he's like, we're going to get some red flag laws, some bump stock bans, and some other stuff that is crazy.
So now instead of going 5 miles per hour towards a collapse, they're going 10.
It was like
Shit is
beta's
getting
out,
real.
but now there's this whole state that's just like ready to take all the guns.
And a lot of people
You know what? Here,
thought they were in a
Virginia's
program
kind of a
state.
weird state. It's got a bunch of statists that work for the government and living there, and then it's got a lot of
Fucking
hillbillies living up in
Quantico.
the hills and shit that don't want to give up their guns. Like
I'm not giving up shit.
they're bred on the whole American freedom because they grew up in.
They brag
where
about
the
being the
revolution
South.
was. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens and what can get passed and how people will react to it.
If everybody's unified, I mean, they can pretty much pass whatever they want.
It's going
On
to
a
be
positive
quite
note-
fun seeing it being enforced.
On a positive
Not
note,
fun, but-
Texas voted to like, they already don't have an income tax, but they just voted to make it like way harder to ever give them an income tax, which
Yeah.
That's
I
kind of-
mean, so
Yeah, they now
That's-
need like 2/3 congressional approval or whatever in their house.
yeah, it's like insane.
I mean, that's
pretty
cute
cool.
and all, but I mean, we've seen how effective pieces of paper are at limiting tyranny. Like, I see a bunch of anarchists on the old Instagram celebrating that. It's like, I mean, cool, but at the same time, like, it doesn't mean a whole lot. As we
And just because they don't have a state income tax doesn't mean they're not going to hit you with a video game tax or a tobacco
Yeah.
tax or an alcohol
Oh, yeah.
tax.
bring on the
Or
more.
just
Okay.
way more aggressively citing you for like traffic infractions and stuff like that.
Okay, sales tax in Washington, D.C. is 14.95%.
Jesus Christ.
That sounds like England. Actually, I
Parking
have no idea what
tax
England
in
is.
Washington, D.C. is 18%.
Is that parking?
If you pay any money for parking, you pay an 18% tax on it.
Oh my god, extortion on their extortion.
Yes.
Whatever.
I don't know if I don't know if it has sales tax with the parking. It might only be the 18% parking tax, but everything else has a 14.95% tax.
Oh, here's a fun fact. British sales tax is 20%.
Jesus. No wonder
But-
you left.
Yeah, no shit. I actually didn't know quite the number, but the thing is, it's already applied to the cost of things, like it's factored into the price on the shelf. Doesn't make it any more right, but you don't get a surprise at the till.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yes, it's
But
a kind of
more
form of
indoctrination.
tyranny. Oh
I
yeah,
feel like-
it's
I feel like in the US, when you're able to see your price jump up, it's supposed to
Yeah.
make you feel mad on the inside, you know?
yeah, and it does work. Like even my most normie of coworkers are like, I've started to get them to say, "Oh yeah, plus theft." if we order like I don't know, something for the whole office, it'll be like, "Oh yeah, so it costs blah 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 plus theft." Yes, they're learning.
Did you ever find that question you were looking for?
Yeah, we filled your dead air. Hang
Wait.
on, come on.
Yes, I have it right here.
Good.
This is from Fentanyl and Freedom.
Good old
Why
shit.
is having a distrust of authority always seen as childish or just teenage anguish instead of something that good and healthy for everyone and professes to be a real American?
Indoctrination, straight up.
Propaganda.
I mean, we're raised from the very beginning, and you guys, especially over here, you know, you spout off your Pledge of Allegiance and all that, and even the most rebellious kid will just go along with it, and then it's sort of just ingrained in your head that that's just the done thing, and to rebel against that would be childish and pointless because it's just, you know, just saying something, and then it kind of expands into the rest of your life.
I think it has a lot to do with even just being raised a certain way, especially by the boomer generation, if you will. Like your parents, yeah, your parents. I mean, it was kind of like the generation of, oh, we're gonna beat the crap out of you to make us listen or make you listen to us. kind of thing. I think it's going away a little bit now, which might be seen in some bad ways, but the idea of you need to respect authority comes very quickly from your parents, and it may not necessarily be a bad thing. It may be just a parenting thing of like, hey, you got to listen to us. And, it may not necessarily be the best way to parent, but it happens.
I know we joke about this being an echo chamber, but I agree with both of you.
We'll bring on some fucking like ardent status at some point, and we'll just get very drunk and I don't know, shout at them or something.
Belittle them.
Probably has a lot to do with how you present yourself too. I don't think anybody would look at Tom Woods and be like, "Oh, you're childish." I just I don't know. He just feels like the adult in the room.
That's the thing, like, because so many people sort of refute us and like, oh, just overgrown teenagers, and with the sort of teenage angst and shit. It's like, I mean, I don't know about you guys. I know about a few of you being pretty respectful, ordinary people. It's not like we're going around tagging fucking walls and like, giving the middle finger to everyone. It's like we just don't like having a.
They no longer say I have teenage anguish or anything like that. They just say
bio for a while.
What's that?
Wasn't that like your bio on Twitter for a while? Like you're the basement dweller or whatever.
Oh, I think it still is. It might still be that.
Probably more.
But in real life, people don't ever. Well, you're just young. They don't tell me that no more. It's all. Oh, well, you just want a utopian society. You're. Yeah, that'll never happen. People aren't like that. You just need to get your mind out of the gutter and join society.
Okay, boomer.
What's that?
To be the adult in the room. Okay, boomer.
But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just going through my teenage angst thing a little late because I was never like this as a teenager.
Oh no, I was a good fucking kid.
I was good Republican.
My opinions were always rebellious, but my actual demeanor and like attitude towards other people, like if you are a good, upstanding person, I'll respect you. I never gave my respect to anyone, just apart from the fucking military. Everyone got my respect in the military because it's what you do. But the rest of the time, it's like you have to earn my respect, and if you're a good person, I'll respect you. If you're an asshole, fuck you. I'll treat you like a twat. But
Do you feel like you were raised like that?
Huh?
Do you feel like that's how your parents raised you?
Oh yeah. Like they gave me a very sort of principled set up. Oh shit! I pulled my mic out. Gave me a very principled sort of upbringing where it was like, if someone is deserving of your respect, give it to them. Don't be fucking rude. Please, thank you, all that shit, sir, ma'am. Even
Yeah, I agree. I feel that's how I was raised too. Treat people with respect if they give you respect. And if they don't give you respect, just leave them alone. Don't deal with them no more.
Yeah.
And actually, that's advice I would give to the younger people in this community. If you're going around acting like an angsty teenager all the time, you're always going to get that. Yeah. Like, if you really want to make waves and actually get people to respect your, anarchist opinions, it might take you not acting like an angsty teenager sometimes.
Be the adult.
Learn the philosophy too.
Yeah. I mean, you have philosophy on your side as an anarchist. People may not realize it at first, but
sometimes I don't know that they know it well enough.
You preach peace more than anyone else does.
Because, yeah. And you know what? The people who will not listen to the philosophy of it just don't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. They will argue it till they're blue in the face. You can just quit wasting your time on those people. Find the people that you give it to. They might argue a little bit, but they'll go off and think about it.
Yeah.
And you planted a seed because the philosophy is pretty much flawless. I'm sure I'll get fucking heat from that.
Well, what about this one? Like, no, we did an episode on that. Please fuck off. But no, like, even if someone is being just a pain in the ass, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to even entertain that you might be correct. Just be the adult. It's so fucking easy. And if you leave it on a note that is mature, doesn't matter if you're younger than the person you're arguing with, they're going to come away thinking like, oh, fuck, I was kind of childish there. I was shouting. I was calling him a moron. I was calling him a fucking idiot, and I kind of came across as a child. And they were very reasonable and respectful. You know, like that's
I had to make
and
that
harder.
realization on Instagram.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I haven't been on the social media forever. Like I took a huge social media break. And so when I started my meme account, when someone would call me out, I would act childish and go at them and this and that. And I had to learn that again in a whole new situation where it's something I should know that. But just putting me in another situation made me have to like relearn my philosophy again.
Internet makes it easier to do that.
Always be questioning yourself. Does this fit what I believe? Go on, Rebs.
Yeah. I mean,
do you fall asleep that quick?
I can't remember what I was saying. Well, I was just agreeing. Like the internet kind of makes you seem more like act more childish because face to face, you're not usually going to act a certain way to someone on the internet. You do. But in general, in politics and everything nowadays, I feel like it's getting harder and harder to act like a good person because of this cancel culture thing. Like all of a sudden, if someone just starts attacking you, they attack like your person before they attack your argument first. And that once it becomes personal attacks, it's just, I mean, it just goes crazy after that, you know? So
yeah, it's as it gets, and this is gonna be a complete fucking double talk right here, but as it gets harder and harder to be the adult, it also, in a way, if you've got the right mentality and you're self-aware, it gets easier and easier to be the adult. Because while a lot of people will just melt the fuck down, and within 2 comments are like, "Yeah, fuck you, you know, whatever you might be, fucking this and that," just personal attacks, and you're like, well, you know, what's your argument? Where are you going with this? Because you're
makes
not
you feel pretty smug, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a better person than you.
Tip the fedora, bid them good day, stroke your neck beard, and wander off into the darkness with your samurai sword. But no, like so many people will just jump right to that shit. And it's like, it's just be fucking self-aware. So many people aren't, and it's so easy to be if you just look at how other people might perceive you, plug in like the most minute bit of empathy, and be like, yeah, I might look like a dickhead if I respond that way, but if I respond this way, people are going to be like, okay, they have a point.
Even you don't want to deal with them, just like recommend a book. Like, hey, just read Man, Economy, and the State if you...
Read Conkin. Fuck off.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you can find your answers here.
I start them with like a YouTube video or something. Something short, like 5 minutes or less.
That's
I love
good.
YouTube.
That's bad for me. I always say, hey, you should go to Mises Institute and then read a 15-page article.
No, that's a good resource, though.
Yeah, I love it, but a lot of people...
Everyone's like...
Everyone's like, I'm not doing 6 months of research. People need something. Dude, I have a short attention span. If like 6 seconds into a video, it's not getting to the point, I'm like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, a lot of people don't want to read the books. What's that?
You guys ever share stuff on your stories and somebody will be like, what is that? And it's just like, man, Google it.
Yeah.
Oh, when something's so easy to Google, like if I take something from a news article, I always try to make sure to get who at least the author was or where the publication. So it's real easy for people to see. And I'll still get, what are your sources?
I link them in comments.
Though when people try to send me links on Instagram and like, you know, it doesn't link to anything.
Yeah. Sucks. I don't know. I got in an argument with someone the other day. I said, I can't remember exactly what I said, but they're like, Google it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he like refused to like discuss it with me. It drove me nuts. He's like, I'm not your Google machine or something. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally trying to ask you what your opinion is, why you're saying my opinion's wrong. It never goes well that way. Like, so there is the balance.
That can't discern opinion from fact. Like, once you realize that someone can't discern opinion from fact, you just got to get out of that fucking argument. Now you're just wasting your time because they will never. Well, this and this, and I'm like, you have nothing except for what you're saying, and then you come with them with some facts, and they're like, "What?" And repeat the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was like one more current event topic that I wanted to bring up and get your guys' opinions on. Like on The View, they were talking about Beto dropping out, and Joy Behar? She said, if you're going to take people's guns away, wait until you get elected and then take the guns. Don't tell them ahead of time. What do you guys think about that strategy?
Trump did that to us.
He really did.
It's a very honest way in a fucked up way, like
kind
of doing politics, like
saying the quiet part out loud
about lying, which is an interesting strategy. But I mean,
well, that's not even
she
open.
Realized this is what people do already. Then it's not a new strategy.
Yeah, why run on it when you can just do it?
I think that Beto made it easier for the next guy to run with those ideas.
I don't know. It's not exactly like he warmed up the fucking sea, because everyone's like kind of trying to avoid those topics now. Because
I don't believe he made it easier for the next person to run on those ideas. What makes it easier for the next person to run on those ideas is more red flag laws and anti-gun laws being passed. The more of those being passed, the more you'll see people running with those ideas.
Yeah. Honestly, I am not afraid of Democrats taking my guns because the opposition to that is so strong no matter what the law is. Compared to when a Republican starts to back something that's just a tiny little thing. Because then, since they're Republican, it's way better than what the Democrats would do. So I might as well support.
The economy is good. Shut the fuck up.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, coming back to the whole is lying about it and just taking them by surprise a good strategy? I would say yes, in a way. But it doesn't appease some of the more bloodthirsty people looking for guns to be taken.
Well, yeah, like when I was talking about it, like I wasn't trying to limit it to Democrats or Republicans because it's getting to the point. What's that dude with the iPads? Dan Crenshaw?
Yeah.
Like, that dude ran on a very traditional Republican background. And, he's running around talking about
red flag and the TAPS Act and stuff.
Yeah, with Moms Against Violence or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
exactly. And he might not be the one to do it, but the guy that comes in after him, after a few more laws have been passed, and everyone kind of, it's not that bad. We're still the freest country ever.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of foreplay. It's like, hey, you like this guy? Yeah, he's a Republican. You like Republicans. You don't. I mean, guns aren't that much a part of being free, Handing it over. Oh, that's my finger in your ass.
Hey, I hopefully those Virginia hillbillies fight back on all the gun control that's about to happen there.
Fucking hog tooth now.
The good thing about it is that compliance when they make laws is just super low. So that's at least a good FU to the government when they make laws.
I just read that in New Zealand, their gun control that they passed after the last shooting, only 20% of people have turned in their guns.
Was it that high?
I think it's way less than that, actually.
Yeah, it was like.
Is this a recent number?
Today it's 20%.
Well, that's a little depressing.
Well, I mean,
but it's New Zealand. It's not America.
Yeah,
that's still pretty good because I mean, in a country like that, you're gonna get a fuck ton of fuds who are like, well, do I really need an AR-15? No, I just have fucking sheep and fucking.
No, what it is people scared to fight for their rights. They're like, you know what? I don't want to fight and die, so I'm just gonna give up my gun. I'm happy.
Just waiting for the next guy to do it.
I'm happier living under this tyrannical reign than fighting. So just pure laziness, really.
It's the way to go. It's easier to do it, to go with the flow.
So much easier.
Everyone likes the easy option.
Was there a lot of media at the rally? I meant to ask you that earlier, Hingham.
Oh no, there wasn't a lot of media. Like almost none. Not. There's no traditional media. There were a lot of little individual guys. I've seen lots of interviews happening with people that were way more professional than I was set up to do. So there's a lot of independent media covering stuff. Like I said, Firearm Chronicles himself. He's a media. What I consider media. He was out there doing interviews and filming it. But other than that, yeah, there wasn't any traditional media.
I mean, it's disappointing, but totally not surprising. I mean, I expected at least like one big name to like, I don't know, send a fucking intern, you know? Just so they could write a shitty article being like, oh, a bunch of radicals descend on DC, you know?
Yeah, well, there might have been an intern somewhere that was writing something for some kind of print news. And I thought that too going in. I'm like, well, at least maybe if it's a slow news day, we'll get some coverage. But the Nationals had their parade that day, so that takes a lot of it. There was a march on the White House that day. There are all these buses coming in. So we were like the small group in town. The only attention we got was from the Alpha Boys.
Well, they love us. I mean, on that note, I don't know if you guys want to say about it, but they certainly love our boy Whiskey.
F for Whiskey.
F in the chat.
F in the chat.
Maybe not a whole F yet. Maybe a lowercase f.
No. You don't want that stress. That's an F. Bad boys show up at your house. You're gonna stress a little bit. Lawyer up.
Hey. Inciting violence. Fucking nonsense. Yeah. Like, so immediately, for our listeners' sake, immediately after we saw that, you know, Whiskey had said that he was approached by some sort of Fed boy and warned that there was a case being built against him, I guess, potentially.
That's bullshit. If they got a case, they don't come to you. They're looking for something, or they have something, and they're trying to get
investigation.
I'm sure it's more of an intimidation tactic.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like, I think it's they have nothing, but they know who the fuck he is, and they don't have anything actually incriminating, so they're like pressuring him, trying to get him to do something.
Yeah. I mean, that happened to Anarchist Cookbook, who he was on Instagram shortly before we all started popping up.
Yeah, I remember him.
That was big fucked.
Yeah, he
awesome.
just posted one day like, oh yeah, someone knocked on my fucking door, and sorry guys, I'm done.
Isn't that what happened to Keystone? Police told his parents that...
Keystone was still like in high school, like living at home and shit, wasn't he?
On his last story, he talked about college. So.
I'm a piece of shit, and I apologize to Keystone. I meant to put a post together to spread the word, but most of the people who listen to this podcast, know of Keystone. So I guess it's worth saying now what actually happened. So essentially, he there was some shit where cops started to get notified about him, and it got to the point where his account was going to be used as sort of leverage against him if they wanted to, I don't know, try and prosecute him for anything. So he didn't get zucked or anything. He took it down, and I mean, it's a choice you have to make.
They're basically going to red flag him if he didn't.
Yeah, it was getting to that sort of point. Yeah, and I mean,
so they really out here doing this shit.
They really are.
So it ain't just criminals. It ain't just terrorists. It's you that thinks that you should have the right to own what you want to own. That's the problem.
And you speak out against it, and you're inciting violence. It's like, well, guess what was happening back in 1776? A lot of fucking violence was incited.
They use violence all the time.
It's inherently violent.
Yeah, it's legalized. So
I seen a cop page today who used violence in his thing. Something like sometimes violence is needed.
You should share that.
I screenshotted it. It was just such cancer. Such cancer. And I'm like, I didn't want to bring the toxicity into at the time. I'm like, dude.
Let's take it to them.
So disgusting. Like, no, I get it. I see so much of this shit. I don't share every fucking disgusting thing I see because hopefully you guys are all out there looking for the same shit.
Depends.
Oh, I see a lot on my personal Facebook page.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Already the Trump train starting to go again, so that's fun.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, you like 2 months ago they were bitching like, oh, Trump is kind of not doing things I like. Oh, the guns are getting me a bit uncomfortable, and it's like, yeah, back on the Trump train, it's gonna fucking run through town. It's like, what the fuck happened, man? Brain just fell out of head.
The sheep, they need their fucking leader.
Election years, guys, we're gonna lose a lot of you fuckers as you start resorting back to your tribalism. Well, maybe not you guys in particular. You guys up to, what are we, episode 21? If you're this fucking deep, you're probably as nutty as we are, and I love you for it. But
well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for another big social media purge sometime in the next year as we draw closer. Like,
we're gonna become more and more threatening, which is good.
We're all gonna have to buy new phones and start new accounts.
Peaceful resolutions. Namaste. And keep your AR loaded, for fuck's sake.
Do you want to do your shout outs before we wrap this up?
We're at a little over an hour. Does anyone else have like any sort of big topics they want to cover?
Events, news stories you've seen?
All right. No. Yeah, I want to do a shout out. I'm not going to do it proper. If I can put a list together and we could like post it right at the end of the podcast, I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, I'll just attach a graphic and be like, big love to these boys.
You could post the episode on your Instagram and tag them all.
Yeah, I've been tagging people right along the way, so
we'll figure out
thing. I just figure with the podcast, since it's like centered towards that.
Oh yeah, fuck, for the Spotify listeners, they're not going to be able to see shit. I don't know. We'll try and get them all. Oh, sure.
Yeah, I also one of the other big accounts I haven't mentioned is Liberty 1776. He showed up. We got to hang out for a little bit. Good dude. But yeah, and even after I post this list, if I missed your name, I apologize. Like, we didn't always get to meet. We met and didn't exchange information good. Stuff was happening. I appreciate every one of you guys that were there. I met people that could definitly turn into lifelong relationships.
Ooh.
It was just a good time. Like,
you gonna leave your wife?
What's that?
You gonna leave your wife?
We're just being children. Don't mind us.
Why can't she come with me?
You gonna be monogamous with a bunch of polygramers?
How can it be monogamous if it's a bunch?
Polygamous.
Continue with what you were saying.
I fucking.
You're not allowed to be serious.
Sidetrack me.
That's at a time.
I appreciate the whole community being there. Like I said, I think as far as our small little part of the world, our little Instagram, polygams, like, thank you for everyone showing up, and I can't wait for the next event where I can meet up with some more people like you.
That's awesome.
See your stickers.
Oh, the stickers. I was passing out stickers, just going around. Hey, you want a sticker? You want a sticker? Hey, here's the thing. Like, at some point, someone was like, "No, I'm good." I'm like, "What kind of fucking weirdo is this? Doesn't want a sticker?"
Yeah, it's just free
Right?
stuff, man.
And then later on, I had a couple people that I'm like, "Hey, you want a sticker?" And they'd be like, "No." And then they'd see the AR-15 on it, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll take that." Like, we had left the rally, and we were in front of Union Station. We were going to get some Chick-fil-A. And I seen two boomers sitting there with NRA shirts on, and someone was passing out these orange round stickers at the rally that said "Guns Save Lives." So anywhere you were in DC, if someone had one of them stickers, you knew they're at the rally. So I seen the orange sticker, and I'm like, sweet. I'm like, you guys want these? And they're like, I don't know. And they seen the AR, and our guns aren't for deer. And yeah, I'll take one of those.
Spread that fucking propaganda.
I wish we would have put, because it says this message is endorsed by the eMilitia. I wish it would have said the eMilitia podcast. Well, just so trick. Like, because there's people getting stickers. No, this is something I should have fucking. You gave me a chance to edit it. You sent me the proof, and I was like, "Yep, go with it."
Good marketing. That way, people actually look up the eMilitia podcast.
Well, I mean, maybe a few will Google us. Maybe one or two of you.
Dude, we'll get them next time. We'll get them next time. We'll make some more limited edition stickers, and I'll go to another rally. So we'll get them next time. But no, they're good stickers. Me and Trigicon were going around fucking DC, smacking them on every surface we could. He had like 1,000.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Dude, we're totally on some list for sure now. We just jumped.
I hope some poor fucking federal employees go around peeling them off.
If you go to Union Station and get in line at Chick-fil-A, you'll see one of our stickers.
Lovely.
That's pretty cool. I feel like we're part of something bigger now.
What's that?
It's a new challenge. Send a picture of the Union Station sticker and you get to come on the podcast.
See if you can find any cool stuff.
Yeah, or if you can find them anywhere else in DC. And I got some left over, but I made this pledge that I wasn't going to give them to anyone
that
wasn't at the rally.
You have to give them a Viking funeral, man.
I think I'm just going to hold on to them and stick them around places I go.
That works too.
Yeah. I thought about burning them. I'm like, I kind of enjoy sticking stickers on stuff, so.
Oh, shit.
Awesome.
It's almost as good as doing bubble wrap.
Have you guys seen, speaking of stickers, have you guys seen Mostly Kinetics sticker idea where you scan the QR code and it takes you to a link to a really cool
website? A fucking fuck, that would have been clever.
I've seen those for a lot of things. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He just recently posted his sticker that he did, and it goes to the 3D gun schematics or whatever.
No, that would be cool. We could do two of them. One that takes you right to the podcast, and one that takes you to an AR-15 schematic.
On Minecraft.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, a real AR-15 schematic. They're not illegal. They're like you can go to the store and buy one tomorrow.
They're not legal yet.
Great. I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you met some people. I feel like it would inspire even people that didn't go to the next one, and definitely the people that did go to continue going to them as they come up in the future.
That's the plan, right?
That's good. Yeah.
Baby steps. The more people see us getting out as a community, the more they'll join.
Yeah. I would love to go on, but like I said, I had my parole officer, so I couldn't.
Yeah, he's a dick. What's his name? Stan?
Stan the man. And that's his last name. It's actually THAMAAN, Stan the man. So,
4.5 million other people on probation or parole. They felt that for you.
I bet they did. Sucks, doesn't it? 4.5 mil, bros.
All of them are our listeners.
Probably got one or two of them.
I wish we had that kind of coverage.
We will one day, hang on. We will one day. If we keep going, if we set up a booth at the next 2A rally, we'll get there.
We'll have at least 2,000, which is almost 4.5 million.
Yeah, almost have that many subscribers on YouTube.
Okay, bros.
Oh yeah, shit.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back.
And lady bros.
We'll be back soon. Thanks for listening. We'll be back soon with another interesting topic that you would love to listen to for roughly an hour and a half. Peace.